welcome to Mind Your Business, a channel where we are in everybody's business. If you don't mind getting in people's business, you're on the right channel. Talking about current topics and gossip.
Well, people, that was quite an episode. It seems like Amara's out here not understanding what a heads up means. Because to give someone a heads up means you let them know beforehand, not after. You've got Princess taking a flight just to slap somebody, and then you've got Flo out here still being dirty, and Trina and her husband. Let's talk about it, people. Well, guys, my inclusive crew, let's talk about love and hip-hop, Miami. Now, I just want to cover a couple of the good bits, the juicy bits that I would say, right? So let's start with Trina. I'm going to start with Trina. Trina, her husband. So clearly they show her, she's talking about she's got a book coming out, and she's been quite busy, booked and busy as always. But when it came round to her, saying to her man, basically, he needs to take care of business and get, he needs to contact his lawyer. I thought, what is he talking about? Because he starts going on some long talk talking about, we're living in a society now where women can decide what happens with them. So I'm like, okay, so clearly the woman was pregnant, maybe didn't want the child, but she had the child. Either way, do a DNA. All this long talk is not making any sense. She's all, sticking by her man and all this kind of stuff, and she don't care what he done before, if he was a menace, whatever he was out here, is before her. All she cares about is her and her man moving forward. He's talking about he's just moving forward. But I'm like, you need to do a DNA test. This is all very, very long. And I hope he does do the DNA test and get in touch with the lawyer, because this is some long thing. Like I've been saying before, Trina is just lost in the sauce, yeah? She's lost in his sauce. Now, Flo is another one that's just lost out here, because she's looking like a sad idiot. I don't know what happens to this girl, because I'm like, she's out here looking as bad as her dirty sister. At one point, I was feeling sorry for Flo, because her sister's such a bad mind, dirty girl. But actually, they're just pretty much the same, because how are you now with Alan, Amara's baby daddy, talking about, I told her sister I was going to take her man. He's not her man, for one. And he sat there basically saying he didn't like her like that. Yeah, he flirted with her, but he ain't got no feelings for her. Like, we're surprised, please. Anyway, while she's sitting there flirting up a storm with Alan, he's there chatting all his business about Amara, and she's happy lapping it up. He's talking about, how he feels like Amara basically lost him. He's a good man, and how she still loves him and all this stuff. And it sounds like he's still working her based on what he kind of alluded to in his confessionals. So I'm just side-eyeing all of them. Like, they're all a hot mess. Like, is everybody just sleeping with everybody at this point? Because it's just giving very disgusting over here. Anyway, another part of the show that I thought was interesting was the whole sit-down with Shay, Brooke and Amara. I thought to myself, Amara, you're very good, because these two are like a couple, like a toxic couple. Because I'm like, what kind of friendship is this? This friendship is very taxing and exhausting, because those two are always back and forth. And we know they fell out before, and we know that, she wasn't too keen on it. But we know that Amara always shows that she's very forgiving. When she met with Shay, you could tell Shay was not on the smoke. Clearly, she's already deflated from dealing with all the drama with Fable. So now she needs friends. They basically hashed it all out. She made it clear that she didn't post Amara's children out of malice. It was no, ill intention with posting the kids, and she would never do anything to the kids. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. They've hashed it out. She couldn't wait to whip out her phone to be like, we're back together now and whatever for their socials. So I'm like, okay. Now, Brooke is very happy, because obviously Brooke was the one who's behind this and trying to, broker peace between them. The last meeting, as we know, didn't go very well. So this one had a successful outcome. But I was thinking, I know when Estelita finds out, she's going to be pissed off, because the way Shay handled Estelita, what she said about Estelita was quite disgusting. So I can understand why Estelita is just not in it. So when she finds out, obviously she's vexed about it. And I can understand why she's upset, because she's vexed with Shay for her own reasons, and quite understandable as well, based on the fact that Shay's comments were very disgusting. So I completely understand that. But of course, as a bit of payback, she decides not to let Amara know that Princess will be coming to her event later on. Now, anyway, the key part, obviously, was at the ending when we had Estelita's lash event. So you had a few little fiery things happening there. You've got Hot Topics putting up on Bobby to have a go at him for throwing her under the bus, is what she feels like. So she's like, she's on smoke with him, with Trina and with Joy. So that's how that went. Then you've got Estelita checking Amara about the whole her getting back with Shay and being friends on that tip. Amara apologised and was like, you know what? It's not the same as what we've got going on. I'm just keeping it cordial. Why don't you go and sit with her, meet with her? And Estelita's not having it. And I can understand, because what she said was bang out of order. But Shay should apologise if she hasn't already. She needs to apologise sincerely. Now, what made me laugh was when Princess pulls up on Amara well, pulls up to the event. I'm just like, this girl is hilarious. Yeah, she took her flight from LA to Miami because she wanted to check Amara's backside. So she pulls up and, you know, everyone's happy to see her. Amara's just to the side like, oh shit, she's here. I know that she's going to be on some smoke because I forgot to mention earlier where she had her initial meet up with Estelita and Brooke. She shared that she sent Princess a message about, you know, meeting up with Ray J. And the response she got from Princess wasn't what she was expecting, because Princess was like, well, cool for the heads up, but I guess you're just another Love and Hip Hop bitch. So I was just like, oh, ouch. And then when Princess arrives now and comes to the event and Amara goes over to speak to her, it was hilarious to me because I'm just like, I get where Princess is coming from, because she's like, well, as far as she's concerned, why are you telling her about him flirting with her after the event? Like, why didn't you let her know that you was going to go and meet up with him in the first place? That's what a heads up is. A heads up is letting someone know that something's going to happen. Not that it's happened and then you're letting them know after the fact. There's no heads up in that. So I could understand why Princess is vexed. Plus, they have a friendship. It seemed like they were friends on the show. So I completely get why Princess would be vexed, because I'd be vexed too. So she didn't like what Amara had to say and she slapped her, basically. And I'm just like, okay, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next week. Now, what I think is interesting is that although Amara is saying that, you know, obviously she knows that he's got a situation, that Ray J's got a situation, when he was flirting with her, she should have just been more straightforward and told him, like, don't play, don't do that. Like, check him, put him in his place. I didn't feel like she'd done that. I felt like she was just allowing it. It was like she was just allowing him to flirt with her. So that's on her for not putting him in his place. And based on next week's highlight, it looks like it's going to get even worse. So we shall see what I go on with that one. But yeah, Princess slapping Amara did crack me up. I just like, yeah, you know, I'm not surprised. Amara, you could have handled that much better. Not saying that Princess should have slapped her, but I understood why she did. But yeah, I just think she didn't do the heads up right at all. And we all know Ray J is really not worth all this hassle. Princess has been going back and forth over this man for years. Their divorce has been pending for years. And he's really not worth all this hassle. I just don't understand it. I just think, you know, Ray J's the clown of the show. Like, I just don't understand it. But anyway, that's that. Now, of course, I went to check out social media to see what people were saying on there. And here are some tweets that had me cracking up. Okay, so you've seen those and you've heard what I have to say. Now, what are you saying about the show? Let me know your thoughts below.
Yes, so thanks for watching that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I am uploading some more of people's business. So until then, my nosy people, stay blessed.